Hello, welcome back to Bean and Nothingness. Alright, so we made a bit of progress on the end justifies the beans. We're now in an interesting state in the level, I think. Yeah, so we have like a million beans here, we have some beans down there, and we have a roller in the way. So we discovered that this roller is okay to have around, but it is very bad to leave the roller like this. I think it is also impossible to just leave the roller down here while I do things, unfortunately. Yeah, and like putting in the roller here is death, because I can't go back. So yeah, I can go in here once, I can leave here. But once I do this, I am basically gone. This is kind of really well designed in this particular aspect. So yeah, I need to prepare I need to prepare stuff. And then I need to somehow find a way out. So, okay, I went to figure out. I asked if it was possible to solve the level in this state, where this roller is here, there are no beans here. The suspicion is yes, this is solvable as long as you can get rid of this guy, which will be today's goal, is to somehow beat the puzzle, having this guy be gone. And I think it has to be okay, it has to be via, I think, freezing you and then destroying you. So if I can go down here, and I can get an icicle to exist, maybe like here, to freeze this guy. I can freeze this guy, go back, then use the remaining bean to create a bomb, then blow everything up. The roller can be destroyed into a million pieces. And then, yeah. Okay, so I think it is possible to get you to go away. The logistics are interesting, but ultimately definitely doable. Okay. So I'm gonna leave all 19 yellow beans here. I'm gonna leave the white beans in a couple bunches in case I want to handle them individually. I don't have to like collect this entire stack and then weed out a single white bean. I want the bomb recipe to be one bean eventually, but I have to start off by making the icicle recipe one bean first and then creating the icicle. So icicle here. Icicle recipe is one bean. Who else? Okay, the roller's recipe is also one bean, so I have to get rid of that, which I can do. Get rid of your recipe. I go in here. I use these two beans to do stuff. Icicle. You come in. Ooh, hold on. We got another problem. Yeah, okay. Could I get the icicle to hit this spot? Maybe if I put it here? I could, but that blocks my way. And the problem with that is like... yeah, it blocks my way is the biggest problem I have. I guess maybe hitting here will be fine. The problem is that I can't get the roll to roll down into you easily. That's why I want this spot. But there are very few spots that actually do that. Here is also interesting, but the problem is that like the reason why I want this spot is because it's very unobtrusive, whatever that word is. If we get this far, I could also attract it downwards and freeze it here, but this requires an empty space. So basically the icicle have to be down here, which is impossible. This is harder than I thought, I guess. Because here it's not good either. Oh, wait, but if you were like this, and the roller rolled down here, it would be fine, I think. Okay, so... Icicle, you're supposed to be here. Okay, perfect. I need to remove the icicle recipe. I can't believe that barely works. Like, this area was designed for that one trick alone. Which I know is probably not true. Okay, but now I set the roller recipe to that. And you know what, just for the fun of it, let's set the roller recipe to this. The roller's gonna die. I can destroy it right now. And then the bomb is going to destroy the icicle. And now I have a bunch of beans to work with. Actually, that might be a better way to do this. Okay, hold on. I want to see if I can eke out a bunch of beans from you. But I don't think there's a way to do it. Yeah, because if I push down here... then I can't get across. Okay, so... let's not try to do so many things at once. Let's just get this out of the way. Okay, perfect. We have a bunch of beans here. We have saved ourselves from this roller, and we are good to go, actually. I would save, but... actually, I should save. So this is at the point... I think all of these points are things I do want to set into stone. In particular, I think I can get rid of red and yellow bookmarks. Those are things I want to say, things I definitely want to do to solve the puzzle. So let's do that. Okay. So now we only have, I think the most important one is this blue one to set us back to here. And the other bookmark I want to set is this one, where we've gotten rid of the roller. Okay. I feel like whenever I want to set a certain state of the puzzle into stone, I can just get rid of the bookmark holding its state. But let's not do things so prematurely. We'll wait until like the next episode and until I'm really, really sure I want to, you know, remove that bookmark. Alright, so now what do we do? I'm now at a point where maybe I don't have too many things left to do. It seems like potentially I could start working on getting this blue bean over. But the question is... how would I get the blue bean over? It seems like the way to get a blue bean over might be just the exact same way I get this purple bean out. Because it's definitely not going down here. I don't think it is. I'm wondering if it's eventually possible to get rid of the clouds. How would I destroy the clouds? It's a really good question. It could be by Vine. Okay, let's focus on what we have. We have the icicle and bucket recipes. Those are new, and in fact, I have the ability to use them in any way I want because we can just use the duplication ability. Yeah, we can just use the duplication ability. That is honestly amazing that I can do that. So now I have icicles, which means I can basically bridge any gap I want across this line, I think, and down here as well. So let's do that. I'll set the icicle recipe to 2 beans. I think the icicle recipe is going to be quite rare to come across. Let's leave 10 yellow beans. And then turn everything else white. I mean, we have a lot of yellow beans, so we don't really need to worry about it. I want to start freezing up bombs and pushing them in. So my question now is, how do I make this easier for myself? Okay, let's start by trying to fill this gap. Definitely want to fill this gap. To do that, it's actually very simple. We could just deal with... I need to get rid of the icicle at the end as well. How about... yeah, icicle here is great. Because I can just push a bomb in to destroy it. What's not so great is that whatever's frozen here can't quite be pushed. So I need to first fill up this gap with an icicle. It really shouldn't be that difficult, but I'm struggling to find a spot that works. How about here? Okay, this should be good enough. Okay. And... okay, just so that... just so I can get the most out of my actions, let's set the icicle recipe to be maximal. And then kill it. Okay, perfect. Look at all those beans. Alright, now we reset the icicle recipe to just 2 white beans. And now we can put a bunch of... I have destroyed that ice block. I have basically undone what I did. The explosion might have to be somewhere else. Okay, meaning potentially the icicle should have started somewhere else. How about if I made the icicle here? Let's put the icicle here. Sure, that is very good. Okay. I mean, I really don't have to do this, but... actually, that's not. I'm lazy. If it turns out I need the beans again, I can always, you know, just reform them. Alright. Now, let us build the machine again. So by this point, I can just, you know, bridge as many gaps as I want. Actually, with this gap bridged, I can actually walk across to here and use the... that's not good. I need to actually push you first. Okay, I don't think I'm losing all my beans. I can... I've definitely put in too many blocks. Alright, so this block will be to destroy you. Okay, let's not do it here. Let's do it here so I don't destroy this guy. Alright. And we still have a sizable number of white beans here. But I can finally bridge over this gap, which is amazing. Okay, so now I can use you again. I should also maybe try and build a bridge down to here. In case I want to bring beans along. So... we need 4 here, I think. That should be good enough. Alright. Let's destroy you. Okay. Perfect. Still have a sizable number of beans. I should duplicate one more time. Okay. So set the recipe of the roller to be 1 white. And we'll set the recipe here. Walk across. This is gonna be much easier. Now we have a legitimate bridge. Kaboom! Alright, more beans. I can bring them back and forth however I like. We still have a very big blockage between this point and this point, which is basically what's stopping me from bringing the blue bean over. And I'm going to try and bridge that gap right now. The question is how to bridge that gap. Let's save this point because this is a very important part of the solve, I think. Well, it's not very important, but I've suddenly made my life a lot easier by building these bridges. So I will save at this point. Okay. Yeah, so definitely, how do I want to get these guys out? I feel like it must be using these. Oh, by the way, I can also create more bridges here, so let's do that. In particular, let's do this. Oh, I put two beans down the wrong way. In particular, I definitely wanted to bridge that gap minimally. And just in case I want to use this space as well to like maybe, I don't know, I could slide a bunch of things over. In fact, yeah, I could put things here however I want by just sliding a frozen monster across and having the recipe be what I want. So... okay, we'll work on that when we have to, but right now... let's clear this up. So yeah, I have access to the blob recipe now. Okay, question how or why would I want that? No idea. Okay, still need to ask the question of how to get through down here. Because I think that's the only way to make it through here without crossing the path of the... well... Actually, this spot is also really interesting because it lets me push down monsters this way. Could I use that here? How about a bucket? Ooh, how about a bucket? Hold on, okay. So here, I'm going to want to... do this. Actually, it would have been a bad idea to put a frozen bomb here. Okay. Let's go all the way back before I put the frozen bomb here. I don't want to lose resources, so I'm going to make it so that instead of putting a bomb here and destroying it, I put a bomb here first. Okay. Ah, bad idea. Okay. So this still won't answer the question. This still won't answer the question of how... sorry, give me a sec here to figure things out. This won't answer the question of how to get this purple bean out, but it will allow me to bring beans back and forth between areas. So if I had a bucket, and I push the bucket down here, I could basically nudge it past so it bypasses the clouds. And that should bring me the blue bean. So I put the blue bean down, I put the bucket down, and I shove it in. Yeah, bucket will definitely try and... sorry, clouds will try and get the blue bean out, but bucket will persist. Okay. I mean, we have a bucket coming back and forth here, but... I don't need... I mean, okay. That bucket could eventually pose some issues, but... we'll leave it alone for now. It's very easy to not be affected by it. So that's good. Okay. Now, I don't necessarily need to save here, so I won't. Again, does not answer the question of how to get this across. But it will answer the question of how from here I can bring things back as well. It's the exact same process. Okay. So I can bring things back and forth between this bottom section, which makes things a bit more accessible. Question, can I freeze blocks and push them in here? Yes, I can, but it is very expensive. But it is possible. Because there is a line here that perfectly allows me to have an icicle come through. Yeah, so if I put a bomb here, icicle here. I freeze the bomb. I drop the icicle. Maybe from the above, so I don't affect any of these guys. Then I push the frozen block in here. I can do it to put the thing here. I can potentially just get some frozen blocks here and get a vine to pull down. But problem. That vine will eat here and I can't destroy the vine because that also destroys the ice blocks. So I need more bridges, I think. I don't know. But that is one thing I can do, of course. Put ice blocks here and here. Not sure where else I can put an ice block. I can stand here for some reason. I think that's really interesting. I can stand here and what, shoot here? Why is this here? Why does this exist? I don't know. Is a block going to be useful? Not sure. Okay, here's something I can do. If I had a cloud pulled in by a vine, and I kill the vine at the right time, I could freeze the cloud and get me space here. Then, I could pull in the bean and leave it here, and destroy the vine without destroying the tile that's the ice block that's holding the bean. And it is very easily doable because the recipe of the cloud is 3 white. I can make a cloud, pull the cloud in here, kill the vine as it does so, which really shouldn't be too difficult. Yeah, definitely. And I'm pulling the pop. Okay. Can. This is all doable. But it is very expensive, so I think it is time we make a few more beats. So I'm gonna start by, of course, let's have the recipe of the bomb be this for now. Because I'm gonna make things a lot easier for myself if I do that. So I'm gonna be a lot more careful about where I make my monsters, because these ice blocks are actually quite fragile. Okay, let's get rid of the bucket recipe. Okay, let's okay, let me bring in a white bean. We have a ton more where this comes from, so no need to worry about it. Yep. Same for these guys, so okay. Roller, change recipe, bomb, blow up, repeat. Roller, bomb. Okay, repeat. I think it's better if I did this with only white beans, because I do need a lot of white beans. Actually, it doesn't really matter because I can just tap on this. But it makes things easier for myself. Let's have your recipe be 2 white and 7... Sorry, 2 yellow and 7 white. The reason for this is to replenish... 1 yellow bean to replenish the bomb, the other yellow bean to give me a gain in yellow beans. So yes. Careful. Okay, perfect. We'll do this one more time. Okay. Good. Now we have a lot of beans again. Okay, so let's try and bring this is gonna be a bit of a process, but I can bring beans over very, very slowly. Now, how many beans do I reckon I need? Okay, so I need to test something first. Can I actually freeze things here easily? The answer is probably yes if I just use the spot here for the icicle. And actually things are very easy from there. Okay, let's leave you out of the equation. Let's produce the icicle. You really shouldn't be blocking anyone's way. You don't? Very good. Okay. So now what? I'm gonna push in a couple of bombs. And I'm going to blow you up. Okay. I'll bring in the beans when I need to. Right now I can work with just these beans, so... let's put in a bomb. Let's put in second bomb. Let's blow you up. Okay. Okay, before that, just so we can get some beans back, let's do this. And actually, to make things a bit easier, let's try and duplicate some beans here as well. Via the same process. Okay. This will net us some gain in white. I do notice that this process doesn't actually gain us any yellows, because we gain 1 yellow for each yellow we use. But that's okay. Okay. Yeah, let's also duplicate some beans here, because why not? We can. So we shall. Yeah, sure. I know it's not very efficient because this isn't a maximal recipe, but really it doesn't really matter. Okay, this should be enough. Okay. So now what I want is to do that up. I need this to be a thing I can put stuff on. So let's set the recipe of the icicle. Let's use some bombs. Okay, so I'm gonna put a bomb down here. I'm gonna put the icicle down here. I'm gonna put a bomb down here. So this bomb will be frozen by this icicle. Actually, perfect. The bucket, okay. If we know we're gonna freeze the bucket, then I can maybe make things work out for me by just setting the recipe of the bucket to something I want. Okay. I like that the recipe of the bucket and the roller are very slightly different. So I happen to want to use these recipes. I am absolutely okay doing that. Anyway, let's freeze the bucket. Let's destroy the icicle. Bridge. Bridge. Perfect. And we have more beans down here now, which I am very happy about. Okay. I'll bookmark this once I get the purple bean down here. And once I get the purple bean down here, I can do whatever I want. I can get the purple bean across just by bringing it back up here, and then bring it down here. I don't know how to get a purple bean in there, but that's another problem that we'll work on eventually. Okay, so we know that we're gonna have a cloud here. Let's leave the yellow beans alone. So let's leave 3 white beans here for the cloud. Fortunately, there's nothing for the cloud to shoot except maybe the vine recipe here. But we need to be very ready to hopefully make sure that I can destroy the vine in time. what it pulls down. So vine recipe, bomb recipe, I think, is what I want. Okay, we'll put the bomb down. I probably should have made more yellow beans down here, but it's whatever. Recipe of the vine will be now 1 white bean. Okay, big operation. So, cloud, vine. Bad idea. I should have waited, so the bomb should have been further away. Okay. Not a problem. We can change that. Okay. Repeat that process. Could be hilarious how we're gonna get rid of all these white beans, but I have a plan for that, so don't worry. No. Oh, this explosion. Oh, that's a problem. The explosion also gets you, which of course kills the cloud. I need the explosion to not get you, so the explosion has to be here. Which is going to be harder to do, I think. Let's try putting the vine here. I'm starting to see a little less confidence in making this work out, but we'll keep trying things out. Okay, if I put some beans here as fodder, I think I might be able to do things. So let's put some beans in here. Let's put a bean there, sure. So you grab this bean first because it's closer. I can time things well now. No. This needs to be earlier. Okay, how about now? Okay, perfect. And I can icicle you to freeze the cloud and put it into the water. Okay, let's get rid of this recipe. Let's do this. We are running out of yellow beans here, so I'm going to specifically, for this section, use white beans for the recipe for the bomb. It's a bit easier that way. Actually, I'm going to leave 1 yellow bean here so I can interchange however I like. I can even combine those recipes if I want to. But no, it's okay. Okay. Let's get rid of the icicle recipe. Let's destroy you. Actually, let's make things cool. I'm gonna put... Actually, let's be safe. I'm gonna put all the yellow beans in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now we have a bunch of yellow beans. We should be able to easily duplicate yellow beans down here as well. I think we should, because otherwise things are not going to go well. Alright. So we still haven't gotten the purple bean across yet, so I'm not bookmarking yet. But we should be fine. Okay. So icicle, bomb. Okay, let's blow you up. Look at that, a bunch of yellow beans. Let's do this one more time. Okay, let's put in all the yellow beans now. Okay, perfect. So a bunch of yellow beans, a bunch of white beans. So I'm gonna have to do the same thing again, where I... actually, before the icicle died... it's whatever. Let's Just reset the entire system. Okay. Before the icicle died. Should have done this. Okay. Okay, perfect. Lots of yellow beans. So now we repeat the process, but this time we're trying to get the purple bean in here, which should be basically the exact same thing as the cloud. Now I'll set the vine recipe to be a single white bean. I'll move the purple bean across. And then I'll come down and everything should be set up correctly. Okay, there you go. And for the last time, let's undo the recipe for the vine. And let's make the bridge that gets the purple bean onto shore. Fine. Here. One yellow bean. Here. So many beans. Hold on. Let's get a couple buckets into the mix, shall we? Because there are a lot of white beans here and I'm pretty determined to use them all. In fact, with the buckets, we should be able to get rid of a lot of white beans, I think. Okay. Okay, very nice. And now... Hooray! We have the purple bean. Okay, this is a good time to save, I think. How many beans do we have? Lots of beans. So many beans. Okay. Can I get rid of one of these bookmarks, or do I have to like use... I'm pretty sure green and blue are very similar. As in, blue is just a completed version of green. So I'm gonna get rid of green. I'm gonna save here. There you go. Okay, so green is this state exactly. And I think it might be time to end the episode. I'm kind of tired. So yeah, we know of a way to get you back, so that's very good. Our next goal... Actually, we're almost done. Because all of the big problems that we discovered are solved. How to get... No, not all big problems are solved. There's still this guy. This guy is a really big problem. But the big problem of purple bean here being unsavable has been solved. We've gotten the purple bean and we can get it back across. So, okay, very good. The next things that we have to do is how to get rid of you, how to put you here, and how to put you here. And then the big final problem is how to get... Actually, I should have frozen some guys in here and gotten access to you a long time ago. How to get rid of all the white beans will be our final problem to solve this one. So yeah, those are our 4 big problems which we will solve next episode. Until then though, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Bye bye!